That takes us over to the tag team division. AMW continue their feud with the Latin American Exchange.
This feud has been a million years.
You say that, it's been 6 weeks.
A million years.
It's because we do 4 months between episodes now.
Okay. It's my fault now.
You see, when you watch the first part and then 2 months later watch the next part, it makes it feel longer when in fact it's only been 3 weeks of television.
Wow. If you want to take Jim Cornette's side, that's up to you, I guess.
That's true. How dare they use the system?
Mm-hmm.
They're not stable for another frickin'... Oh god, I pushed myself into a corner of having to do math. 17 years!
Shock the system.
November 23 Impact, Jim Cornette comes to the ring. If you remember, at the Genesis pay-per-view, he issued an ultimatum that LAX will have to turn over the World Tag Team titles or be fired. Mm-hmm. So he comes to the ring. He introduces Petey Williams. Mike Tenay and Christy Hemme in the teaser before the break hype up Petey as a real American hero. He is American through and through. He saved the American flag. He's an American champion of democracy.
I love America.
PD says he knew what was happening with the American flag wasn't right, and somebody had to stand up. None of the Americans, apparently. That somebody was PD. They're going to raise the flag to the ceiling as they play an instrumental version of the national anthem that's immediately interrupted by the gunshots of LAX's theme song, and you could not have a more on-the-nose political commentary imaginable.
Yeah. Imagine them doing any of this today.
That is simply the only thought we can have every month about all of this, isn't it? They simply wouldn't get away with it. You wouldn't get away with like a 15% as tame version of this. Never mind, they're interrupting the flag with the gunshots so that the immigrants can use the American legal system to keep their jobs.
Yeah.
Conan comes out with a lawyer and serves Cornette some papers. They're going to use the American system against them. They get due process. Cornette's trying to unfairly strip them of the titles. PD looks to stand up to them but gets dropped and draped in the Mexican flag. AMW makes the save, but Conan throws Gale to the ground and LAX take over again. And this is where we get the entire detour into Kurt Angle, PD, Samoa Joe, all of that stuff. So we've covered all of that. It sets up the tag match for the following week, which is LAX versus PD Williams and Kurt Angle. But through that show, LAX take out James Storm, they take out Chris Harris, they take out PD Williams, which brings you to the main event where you do the match. They retain the title via legal process, I guess. And then the next week, go home show, we have PD Williams versus Homicide.
Which is a fun little match on paper, but is kind of overshadowed by like just everything that is constantly happening with AMW running in and LX running in and brawls and flags and yeah.
And an entire classic TNA fashion. It all happens within the space of 15 seconds. PD's out for revenge after LAX took him out last week. They trade counters in and out of the Canadian Destroyer and the Gringo Killer, which is, I think, kind of the cool thing about this match. It's like the two guys with the death finishes.
Yeah.
But PD gets the roll-up for the win. Hernandez border tosses PD after the match and drapes the flag over him. AMW makes the save and runs off LAX. Gale taunts LAX with the Mexican flag. So later in the show, Letitia has LAX. Conan is mad and he wants the Mexican flag back. And he proposes that AMW and LAX face off in a non-title flag match, a turning point. Winning team's anthem being played. So flags in either corner. It turns out to be closer to a ladder match because you get the flags off the poles and then you have to hang them from like a thing in the middle of the ring, ladder style. To
ironically, unironically, a better version of a flag match.
Yeah, it made the match better. Like if you were just like get the flag off the pole, that's terrible. Whereas get the flag off the pole and then hang it in the middle of the ring off a ladder, it's just a ladder match then, really.
Yeah.
That does bring us to Turning Point 2006, December 10th, from the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, as we had that flag match. Obviously, before the flag match, we have our classic pre-match promo. Conan says, soon everybody will be speaking Spanish, and tonight everybody will stand at respect for the Mexican national anthem. So LAX defeat America's Most Wanted in a flag match.
It's kind of a crazy fun match. Like, it's not like some AMW classic pay-per-view match, but like it's pretty fun. They do a bunch of shit. It's kind of like you always get like one crazy death spot in an LAX match.
Yeah, like these two teams don't have like the 4.5-star classic you could maybe think are possibly in them, and maybe if in different circumstances they could probably have.
Different era of TNA.
And I think the bigger disappointment is they don't really have like a full blood feud match where these, because these two teams, if they were doing something like a full street fight where everyone bleeds and everybody dies, I think would be the best version of the match between these two teams.
Or the cage, or
Yeah, if they had a cage match, yeah. Whereas the two matches they do have, I think, are good, like 3.75-star matches that are trying to be 3.75-star matches.
Yeah.
So the flags are on poles in each corner. You have to get the flag, climb the ladder, hang it to win. If you don't, it will be eventually returned back to its pole. So you have to get it twice. Gail hits a moonsault off the top to the floor onto Homicide, and she goes crazy because anytime Gail gets to wrestle in any regard, she's like, yes, I will do a moonsault to the floor because I love doing anything that's not just standing around. Harris dumps Homicide overhead onto the ladder, and Homicide just barely catches the edge of the ladder in the worst way imaginable. Harris then gets crackerjacked onto a ladder. Storm hits a sunset flip powerbomb on Hernandez off the ladder.
A very smooth one too. Like, not like that weird like stop and go, just like tippy toe right onto the mat and then just hits the power bomb.
Because I get why they stop and go, because it hurts less.
Yeah.
But when you do the full like fluid through, it looks much better.
Yeah.
Gail drops Homicide with a missile dropkick. She then tries to hang the flag, but Conan grabs her, pulls her off the ladder, and pulls her to the mat by her hair. Petey Williams comes out and tries the Canadian Destroyer Conan, but Hernandez stops him. Hernandez then does his big Air Mexico dive, but he does it from a standing start in the middle of the ring. Like, he doesn't hit the ropes and do it, which is so impressive to just middle of the ring standing dive straight into that dive. Homicide and Harris both try to hang the flag from either side of a ladder. Storm climbs the ladder, smashes Homicide with the bottle, but the glass from the bottle also ricochets into Chris Harris's eye, so he falls off the ladder too. Hernandez then hangs the Mexican flag for the win. Storm is furious at Chris Harris. Gail is like, you got glass in his eye, but this does not calm down Storm. Then LAX and Conan stand for attention for the Mexican national anthem, which the crowd largely do respect.
Yeah, there's a couple people that turn their backs, which is very funny. But, like, for the most part, everyone's like, yeah, okay, they won.
Yeah, and they like LAX, so they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll respect their victory. I do like Homicide because he's bleeding from the back of the head after he took a glass to it. So he's like struggling to stand. He can't quite pay attention. He's like, oh my God. But he's like doing his best to stand for the anthem. After the match, JB has Storm, who is raging. Says Harris quit. He's not hurt. That's an excuse. He left Storm down. He left America down. Says Harris has until Thursday on Impact to apologize to Storm and America.
Yeah, I just love he left America down.
Because he's like, did you see that? Did you see that anthem being played in America?
Which is very funny, again, because, like, the crowd was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song. We all just enjoyed the Mexican national anthem because we have respect. We're like Booker T. Respect. That's a new one we have to do until it happens, like we did Warrior. As AMW are on the brink, and LAX the titles weren't even on the line, but they are still NWA World Tag Team Champions. I like the way the titles weren't even on the line, which is like, should be in theory, if I were like the day before this show and I saw, well, flag match, but the titles aren't on the line, you're like, oh, well, AMW are winning, I guess. But like, nope, America failed again.
Yep, I thought it was really interesting too, that little like, they're like, this is for the first time in history. America lost the flag match.
America has been defeated live on pay-per-view by another country.